Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast. Yo, let's get it go out there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world. Welcome on into the Sports Buffoon Studios, of course, here out of Lenexa, Kansas. We got the full group with us, Jason JG to my left, and we got birthday boy Tanner Dawson to my right. What's up, man?
What's up, guys?
Happy birthday, yo.
We got you a little cake. We got you some candles. It's getting a little crazy in here. That is quite a wall of fire.
I see the black smoke, too, coming off of that,
Black smoke.
So. You might want to go ahead and blow that shit out.
Are you getting worried?
No, I don't care. If it's his house, I'm not going to lose any money.
He's got insurance, right?
I'm going to have to hide my digital wallet.
Dang.
Other than that.
That was actually a lot easier to blow out than I thought it would be.
Yeah, nothing caught on fire.
But now it's all smoky.
Nothing caught on fire, so that's good, I guess. But, yeah, it's going to be a tall one.
That was a big one.
That's right, man.
Where'd you get those candles?
Just found them in the car.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Just one of those things, they've been laying around for a few years, and I just figured, let's throw them in here and see what happens.
That makes a ton of sense.
I guess your birthday present for me, Tanner, is the fact that I didn't have to take you to court over last week's easy money bet. I almost had to sue your ass.
I would hate for you to lose in court like that.
No, I would have won, dude.
No,
I was taking it to the Supreme Court. Oh, nice. Fire alarm just went off.
Somebody set off the fire alarm in here. Wait, you don't know where your own fire alarm's at? No.
You can't make this shit up, man.
Oh, there you go, Tanner. You know what you should do? Just take the batteries out, and then it won't go off.
Now we need a fan in here.
No, it's good in here now. If it's warmer in here. It was freezing cold when we first got here, so.
Yeah, bottom line is,
good.
If he ever pulls that shit again on me, I'm taking him to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, we'll burn his house down if he ever does that again. But
yeah, come on now. We know the rules, guys. Everybody knows the rules.
Yeah, so, well.
We've only done this for 3
years. We'll do our easy money bets later, of course, but at least your bet won, so we got that out of the way.
Yes.
But I know you were a little upset we wouldn't change it to 5.5.
Started a little winning streak.
Hey, got to start somewhere. Got to start somewhere. So, all right, man. Well, before we kick off into this whole thing today, we got some college ball to talk about and some Chiefs coming up. What are you guys sipping on today?
Nice Pepsi Zero.
Pepsi Zero. So, Tanner, you had your birthday yesterday. So were you getting crunk or what happened?
We had the party yesterday, and no, I did not get crunked. But I did have a few beers then. So,
all right. Was it your normal Tuesday where you get smashed?
No, it was not. I had to come back and do a podcast for the rest of the night. So I did not. I could have easily took down some of those barrel-aged stouts at Limitless, and that would have got me crunked. So
bad idea, probably.
But I did not. So
JG, what you drinking?
So it is time for some of us to switch over to the altcoin season and go with the non-alcoholic beers. So this one is called Wienenstefner, and it's from Germany, it looks like. So it's pretty good, man. It's got I like the macros on it. It's got 2.6 protein and 8.9 carbs.
No, that's really good. What does it say the calories too? Is it 50?
50 calories.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Those are good macros.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good beer, man.
You could drink that after a workout, and it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
have like a couple of those, like a protein shake, right? So I need to find a better selection. I got me some Heineken Zero. So nothing fancy. I've never tried it, so I wanted to try it out. It's very drinkable, but it's also kind of boring. So I'm gonna see what else I can run into across the way as time goes here. But all right, man. Well, another week in the books for the Chiefs. Now 11-1 on the season. We're not surprised at all with the win last week, of course, against the Raiders, but it's more of the way they continue to find ways to win is somewhat disheartening to the team. Travis Kelce's a little bothered right now. I think in general, guys know that they're better than what they put out on the games themselves, and so, man, is this just how it's going to be all year? I mean, is this team a fraud like a lot of the national media is saying?
No, we're officially in December, right? So last year, if you guys remember, we couldn't do nothing between August and November. We got to December, and we started seeing things click. We started seeing things happen. Now, Andy Reid's making moves here, right? He's trying to get a left tackle of Humphreys started this week, hopefully starting this week. Chance he doesn't, but either way, it's the hope there.
And the rumor is if he doesn't play, Joe Tooney will be starting at left tackle.
Correct.
So
and that's what Reed said.
Wanye Morris and Kingsley are not on the table.
They are. They're not in the top tier.
They're in the doghouse at this point.
So, but that's. I mean, think about it. Last year in December, we came alive. I think we're going to do the same thing. You got to ramp up to playoff ball, and you got nobody in the bottom tier of the NFL this upcoming next 5 weeks it is, 4 weeks, whatever. So
right, 4 out of the next 5 games are against playoff worthy teams.
Yes,
teams that would be in the playoffs right now if it was the beginning of the day.
outside of the Browns.
Oh yeah, right. Well, that's what I mean. There's
4 out of 5. Yeah, you're
4
right.
out of 5.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So all the rest of them right now would currently be in the playoffs. So it's going to be a tough test because the Bills, on the other hand, who's right now right behind the Chiefs and would have the tiebreaker, get to finish off the season with the Jets and Patriots a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, we basically at this point, the Bills and Lions game here coming up next week is going to be very important. And the Chiefs need to get a little more separation than just one game at this point. So, anyways, how you feeling? Do you think this is just the Chiefs holding off for the playoffs, or is this 11-1 a fraud team?
I mean, I've said all along that they generally get bored a lot of times in the regular season. But obviously, we are all concerned about the left tackle situation. And excuse me, do we still go after Donovan Smith, or do we just go ahead and assume that DJ Humphries and Joe Thuney are enough in terms of depth?
No, I think at this point that is what it is. I don't think there's anybody you can at this point try to go after. I think it's kind of like we talked about in crypto, where there's a window there, and if you get in too late, then it's not going to work for you, and so you got to get in at the right time. And I think that getting DJ Humphries when we did was literally getting in right before altcoin began, and then at that point, if you got in late after that, it's just too late. He is the answer at this point, hopefully.
Well, there's good news coming out of practice the last few days from it as well. That we've heard that this guy is literally rock solid right now and looks really good off his injury. So hopefully it's what he is in the game.
That's another issue, Tanner. He's going against the Chiefs defensive ends. And guess what? Most tackles have looked really good against the Chiefs defensive ends. So
it's not a lot.
Another issue, the Chiefs have given up more sacks with Mahomes at quarterback this year than ever before. And also, at this point, I think the least amount of sacks we've had with Steve Spagnuolo at this point in the season than we've seen since he came along as well, which is really weird because, the last 2 years prior to this, we were top 3 in sacks. And now here we are, bottom 5.
Yeah.
Maybe not bottom 5, but bottom 7, I believe, in sacks right now on defense. So that's another thing that I think these issues are real. I'm not going to sit here and say that, the Chiefs are just playing around until we get to the playoffs, and they're holding things back, which some ways they are. But I think the issues we're seeing are real issues that will creep up again at some point if they're not figured out sooner rather than later. And so it's something to actually be concerned
Are
about.
you talking about sacks per game or total sacks?
Just total sacks right now.
Sacks per game are 27th.
Right.
And then I'll find the sacks.
Yeah, I mean, if you hadn't have got those sacks that we got in the last game, I mean, we're basically bottom feeders.
Yeah.
Yet getting to the quarterback.
And most of these have had to be created through blitzes. They're not getting home. When you rush 4 guys, I mean, it's just not working. No. Guys aren't getting home. George Karlaftis has regressed. They're not even using Josh Uche. He had 1 snap last week against the Raiders. And, Mike Dana has come in and filled his role. Mike Dana is playing like Mike Dana. Nothing spectacular by any means. And then, Charles Omenihu, I felt like, was at least helping the production a little bit on the D-line last week, but still not quite finishing the way that we'd like to see from an edge type of
he was
rush.
coming back from his injury, so we'll give him some couple games to get back into things. He's one of the only guys that can play really in and out, inside and out. So
it's one of those things that I think the Chiefs have to get figured out for this thing to work in the playoffs. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's about pressure on the quarterback and protecting your quarterback. And if you can't do either of those things, then you're not going to win. I mean, when it really matters anyway.
Yeah.
So, anyways, So, anyways, what did you guys think about Joshua Williams coming in officially at corner?
He played 50 snaps or something like that on.
Right, because we've seen enough of Najee Johnson at this point.
Najee got benched.
Right.
The Taylor kid came in for a little bit. The fourth string guy came in for a little bit for Najee, but then Joshua Williams took over from there.
Yeah, and I think that's how it should have been really as soon as Jalen Watson went down. So,
which I'm confused. I don't know why we didn't start with Joshua Williams in the first place.
They continue. The staff continues to seem to have a problem with Williams for some reason.
Yeah.
When really, his playing style does end up getting penalized more often. He does end up making a few more mistakes here and there, but I think he's also at times he understands the system. He's reliable in that aspect. And Najee Johnson to me is just getting beat in a way that we don't see Josh Williams get beat. And that's why, to me, it's never understood. I've never understood the infatuation that the Chiefs staff has had with Najee Johnson. But I'm hoping that they've just come to the realization that this is not his time nor his year to be a number 2 corner, especially with Jalen Watson out. Once he's back, obviously we know who the number 2 is going to be.
Jalen Watson's out for the year.
He's out for there, so that's official.
As of November 22nd. So beginning of November, he was playing. They're planning on getting him back. He had a flare up mid-November. November 22nd, he is out for the year. So
I must have overlooked that news.
I did too. So I looked it up today because we were talking about it at work, and I was like, oh nope, there it is. So
okay.
Yeah,
it is a broken ankle, so I get it. Brian Cook obviously broke his ankle last year and ended up being out for the year. That thing was pretty nasty.
That was nasty.
I can't.
Which I think it's a year this week that he broke his ankle. So
yeah, hopefully keep good thoughts, good omens out there,
right,
for the rest of the season. We got 5 more tough games, and speaking of that, after this game, guys, we got the 3 games in 10 days coming up.
Yep.
So
every day of the week.
I think the schedule makers out there wanted to put the Chiefs to the test. I wanted to give them the most difficult possible end of season slate that they could throw together. Meanwhile, our rival over there, the Bills, get normal Sundays, and just here's our 7 days off leading up to every game. So yeah, let's see how that unfolds. But I'm getting a little more nervous as time goes, just because I do think the Chiefs lose one more game at some point. The Bills, we kind of need them to lose to the Lions. But if they beat the Lions, I think they got that wrapped up. I think at that point the AFC could be theirs.
Yeah.
And I don't think we want to go to Buffalo again. I don't think it's going to be fun. So nice to have a bye week.
It would be nice to have a bye week.
So
you got some tough teams to get by on, like you said, short rest period as well. On top of already a short season technically, because you've played the last 2 years, 3 years, 2 years in the Super Bowl. So, like, you don't even get the normal rest everybody does.
Now, do you think the Chiefs do something different on the running backs in that situation? As a running back, obviously you're taking the pounding and the brunt of most of the tackles throughout a game. You got 3 games in 10 days. I think between Hunt, Pacheco, and is there a chance Clyde is involved at some point, you think, during the stretch?
I think he has to be. You
think he's finally going to be active and brought in to get some snaps, just to take some pressure off some of the other guys? Otherwise, I mean, as a running back especially, that's just a lot of workload within a short amount of time.
Yeah, I think he. Honestly, I think Clyde has to get involved before playoff time.
Yeah,
he does.
Either that or it's more Carson Steele, which for some reason he's leading the Pro Bowl ballot for fullbacks. So I don't know. People out there, I don't know. I don't even know what. It's the Pro Bowl, man. It's kind of the popularity contest. No one knows who the fullbacks are anyway.
I mean, the Ravens would probably be my favorite in fullbacks, but that's just me.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, do you have any thoughts on the Chiefs' current state, Jason?
I'm not a big fan of messing around with Clyde too much. I'd give him maybe like 3 carries a game max.
I just want him out there.
I think we have enough horses to get through that stretch.
Okay. Between Carson,
yes,
Clyde, Hunt,
and Samaje Perine.
And Perine, of course. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely get him some reps, but, you know.
I'm not saying like, you have to carry 21 times.
Yeah, just put him in there for like
get out there.
2 to 3 carries just to spell people. But other than that, I'm not going to mess with him.
Because he's been inactive every week since he's been, came back. So
yeah,
we just got to get him out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tanner, I know you wanted to talk a little college football because we do have the conference.
Are we coming back?
Oh yeah,
the Chiefs.
We will.
Okay.
We'll come back. We'll come back around to it. I just wanted a little Raiders recap, talk about this for a few minutes, and then we'll jump back into the Chiefs matchup.
That works.
But so the first one that stands out to me, man, obviously Oregon and Penn State make the most sense. Just the most interesting on the table. I don't know if you're going to be betting on any of these games. I mean, you early in the season you did pretty good.
Normally, I don't do title games, but I am. I got a few games, matchups for title week that I actually do like. So right. I won't bet bowl games because people sit out and stuff like that now versus where they didn't before. Playoff, though, it'd be interesting on the matchup. It's probably more doubtful that I'll bet any of them, but it depends on certain matchups. So. And
then Georgia, Texas again for round 2, huh?
Yeah.
Same outcome?
Yep. So yeah, you're looking at the bracket, and I might be able to throw something up. I can't really get it up. My bad. But you're kind of look at it here. Oh, Scott's here in the chat. Getting Streamlabs is yelling at him.
Oh, did you say a bad word?
He probably did. Let's take a look at it here. Tanner, I think for your birthday, Mike and JG easy money bet has to be college hoops. Yes.
Oh boy.
I have no problem doing college hoops.
You want to do that?
Xmas Day could be the next Chiefs loss at Pittsburgh. Could be. And then SMU. Let's go, babe. He was using all caps. Flynn Eastwood out here watching as well. Welcome in. So
SMU and Clemson, huh?
Hey, I'm
see. There's some fun games at least. And Iowa, Arizona State, I think will be interesting at least.
Yeah. So if we're looking at title week here coming into play, right? Big games that matter here. So currently in the bracket, your first 4 as of Tuesday, that would have a bye if everything stood still today. Oregon at 1, Texas 2, SMU at 3, Boise State at 4. And then you have the first round matchups of Penn State, Arizona State, Ohio State, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Alabama, Georgia, Indiana. So despite the Ohio State loss here, they just dropped down a little bit. But meanwhile, Penn State does take that 5 seed there for that. So, and yes, Bama's still in it.
It shouldn't be, though.
Well, yeah, I agree. I agree there should be other deals, but Miami's definitely should not be in that. So Miami should be out, and they are officially out here. Now, title week happens, right? What are we looking at here? What are the matchups that matter for this college playoff here? Okay, so we're looking beyond the bubble, essentially. So we have Arizona State and Iowa State going at it, right, for the Big 12 title game. Looks like a true elimination game. This is a true. So if Arizona State doesn't win this game, Big 12 has nobody representing in the college football playoff. Plain and simple. That's just how it's coming to be. Now you have SMU, Clemson going for the ACC title. In the Clemson Tigers, they could win and they can get in. SMU might not be eliminated, but most likely they will with that loss there. So Clemson can still get in the playoffs somehow, some way, despite loss last week and a few weeks ago as well. They can get in. So they can get in, winning scenario. Boise State, UNLV are going at the title as well. And a win for UNLV puts them in, most likely kicks Boise State out. So it's not a guarantee in those that those two teams get kicked out. But looking at the field that's out there, most likely a Boise State loss kicks them out. Most likely SMU loss kicks them out, which is unfortunate. And a Iowa State win eliminates the Big 12 from even competing. So
that's what we want, Tanner. Get that Big 12 out of there.
No, we want Arizona State in there. So boo Iowa State once again. I'm really good at this. Boo Iowa State, and that's exactly what we want. Miami, Ole Miss, South Carolina, or Iowa State, BYU, all they're gone. They're gone. Don't worry about them. These title games matter this weekend.
Why exactly do we want a Big 12 team in there if they're just going to get the curb stomped anyway?
It says they're going to get curb stomped. Right now they're facing Penn State.
They're not going to win the championship is why they shouldn't be in there.
Who's going to win the championship? Georgia?
It's probably going to be your 1 through 4 seed.
Your 1 through 4 seed is going to be Oregon, SMU, Texas, and Boise State. So you're telling me one of those 4? I'd say Oregon, maybe at Texas.
Yeah, none of those Big 12 schools are going to be involved.
They're not. Yeah, I'm just saying if you got one in, they're not winning a championship. So what's the
ASU
point?
could beat Boise State and Penn State.
No, they're not doing.
They're not going to win a championship. Tanner.
They're not doing.
It's the same exact thing.
Well, then why play at all?
Do
you want to just give a title to the top team?
I don't think they should have 68 teams in college basketball. I think it's a joke. I've said that for decades now. Like you should have had. It should be like the 1980s where you had 32 teams and that's it.
No, well,
you know why? Because an 8 seed, anything less than an 8 seed, has never won the championship and never will. It's the same freaking thing in college football. None of these bottom feeders that barely make it in are ever going to win a championship unless, like,
Tennessee,
all of the quarterbacks get injured, which nobody would want to watch that anyway.
Indiana, you don't think none of those guys could win?
Over a Big 12 team, yeah, any of them could.
No, win the title. I'm not talking about division. I'm talking about win the title.
Indiana's not. Alabama's not either.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So Tennessee would be your team at the
they'd probably have the best chance.
The bottom 4.
But even then, I'm not putting them in there.
No, they're not going to win.
But
it's a way. All these games are a waste of time.
No, they're not. They're great entertainment. First off, and we're going to have some upsets here. I think. Do you think a number?
You think that's great entertainment?
Do you think a number 3 SMU is going to beat a Bama or a Tennessee team?
Do you think it's great entertainment when you know that certain teams have a 0% chance of winning a title? I don't think that's good entertainment. I think it's great entertainment
because then you can see some of these upsets. I think we see a few upsets, just like we do in the tournament every year in basketball. I think you're going to start seeing some upsets here.
But more power to you, man, if you want to watch that shit. I'm not going to watch it.
I will.
I'll wait until the national championship game, just
January,
like I always do.
Was that 21st, I think it is, the national title game this year.
They keep pushing it back so far.
Well,
I mean, with the playoffs, everything.
With the playoffs, yeah.
They kind of have to.
So so we got that, and then 2 weeks later is the Super Bowl. So
it used to be like New Year's Day. It was the championship. And
yeah.
Now
the 12 team, they don't start this till like the end of December.
They're going to run into the NFL Combine.
Yes,
pretty
legit.
Much. I mean, that's in February.
They're going to run through the NFL playoffs.
So how many more years until we go to 16 and then 32 teams is what I want to know.
I don't think we get to
when can we start wasting more of people's time? That's what I want to know.
The only way you get to that point is eliminating more bowl games, plain and simple. And then you don't have a bowl season.
Well, they keep expanding the bowl games.
Yeah.
And so that's not helping either.
No, it does not.
It helps for wasting time.
Yeah. You could get the Rice Krispie.
If I wanted to waste that much time, I would just trade cryptocurrency.
You can do the Quaker Oats bowl game.
Yeah, or what's the Pop-Tarts?
That was kind of funny. I liked that one.
If I wanted to waste that much time, I would just stare at the price of Bitcoin every day.
Yeah, look at it.
Don't do anything else.
Just stare at it all day long. See what's it's. Well, and every time you look at it, it's doing nothing.
So they expand the bowl games, and then those teams that make it, half their star players are sitting out.
Yeah.
So then it's just boring games.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
It's pointless right now. So if they do that, you eliminate all bowl games and your sponsored games or your playoff games, and you go from there. Because that's the only way to do it. Because right now people just sit out. Yeah. And it's awful.
If you do away with bowl games, I think you're going to hurt your brand a little bit.
I think they improve it because then you got players that are going to the NFL not sitting out like you're doing now. You're hurting your brand because you got guys in the draft sitting out because they're not in a going for a
all
title.
Of your traditional college football fans, they love their bowl games.
Yes,
so
bowl games are great.
Big part of the brand.
But I also want to see the players that we've seen all year play in the games. So they got to figure something out with that.
Yep. Well, I'm looking forward to it still. I mean, just me being as a football fan anyway.
I'll still watch.
I'm be trying to check out. I'm going to kind of watch the score of Georgia, Texas, but I really want to watch Penn State and Oregon. That'll be the one that I key in on Saturday night.
It'll be good. Yeah, for those title games there.
That'll be a big one.
I think for just title games, period. A few that I'm kind of looking forward to is UNLV, Boise, and Tulane Army on Friday. Of course, Iowa State, ASU, because I am curious about that. But like you said, Georgia, Texas should be a good one at 3:00 on Saturday. Penn State, Oregon at 7, and Clemson and SMU at 7. So we got a couple good games there at the 7:00 slate to really look forward to.
Unfortunately, I can't watch them as easy as I used to because my streaming service got taken down. So that's bad news over there. Very unfortunate.
Awful, that's
gosh darn feds hacking my system, taking down my streaming service.
Get you a super box. You'll never have to worry about it again.
Yeah, maybe I will, dude. Maybe I will. I'll have to look into that.
$300
to look into
free television for the rest of your life.
Funny enough, I actually know another guy that has that, and he's had it for a few years, I guess. But
yeah, it's like free TV and free movies the rest of your life. It's like 1,200 channels.
Yeah, plus you get all the NFL games and college.
Everything, man. No blackouts, none of that shit.
Scott, Scott says Arizona State is the only new team that can get in. That's right, Clemson too. Yep, Clemson as well. Conference championships have to be in. So, no, conference championships do not. Big 12, it's not considered a major conference anymore for some reason. So they're looped in with the bottom few. So no, they They don't get
they
an
lost all their
team.
talent, dude. Freaking all their top schools just ran out of there. They were sick of it.
Yeah, Oklahoma and all them. Yeah, so they don't get a guaranteed team. So that's the wild thing. So yeah, it's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be wild here to see what happens this weekend. Hopefully more chaos because chaos is great, but don't let them hit SMU. SMU needs to make it.
All right, Tanner, we can jump back over again to where we were about the Chiefs here, and then get some game picks as well on our predictions for what's coming up this weekend. So, man, it's going to be interesting because the Chiefs play Sunday Night Football against the Chargers at Arrowhead, and then after this, they got 3 noon games, which we're not used to. Yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. It's just weird to see 3 noon games in a row. But with that said, man, they got Justin Herbert finally playing at a high level, and we're not surprised by that. I mean, we kind of knew when Jim Harbaugh came in, he was going to have a more efficient offense, I think. I think it was going to be more about ball control, running the ball a little bit more. And Ladd McConkey's come a long ways, man. He's really turned into a great receiver for that team, and just playing out of the slot. I think you're going to have to put McDuffie on that guy throughout the whole game.
He's
but
somebody.
Herbert has not had an interception now, I think, in like 9 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I think you're right.
Which is crazy. I mean, not that he was ever like the ultimate turnover machine, but I mean, it's just the fact he's able to been that efficient with the ball has just been why the Chargers have been winning games the way they have. I think defensively they're still pretty beatable, but with that said, they're getting the job done.
They've played well defensively those last 3 games.
Yeah, and they're getting pressure on guys too, and that's the thing that worries me in this game is just will the tackle hold up? Whoever it is at left tackle, is he going to do his job? Because we can't have another week like last week where we got 5 sacks given up and then squeak out a win. It's just not going to work this time against a pretty good team in the Chargers here. So, what's your key to this game, and what do you think is going to be the outcome?
So your injury report real quick here. We had nobody really issued, more of a rest day for 3 of our guys, but ain't too worried about it. But Bud Dupree was limited with the heel today. Henley did not practice with a knee injury. Ladd McConkey, he's still dealing with a knee and shoulder issue.
He'll play.
He is limited. He didn't play last week, so
I've heard he's going to be okay for this.
He should be all right. And then Molden and Perriman both limited as well. So Chargers haven't chartered like normal, so keep an eye there. I was just missing here, because they missed the past 2 games. That's fine. So your keys to the game here. I mean, first off, Gus Edwards is your main back, right? We all know this here. Dobbins is officially out for the year. The injury bug always strikes the guy, and there it is. So Gus Edwards can't let the Gus bus get loose. You got to contain the run. You have sucked against the run these last 3 weeks. You gotta let Herbert throw the ball. You gotta let Herbert throw the ball and contain Gus. Do not let Gus break out. He hasn't had a breakout game at all this year.
But he's going to be getting most of the carries.
And he's going to get most of the carries. Point, so you got it. You have to toughen up in the run a game again like you were middle season. You can't let these guys break loose. And then if you give them a run game with a Herbert right now, just chalk it up, man. Just chalk it up.
Yeah, it's going to be close. The spread is Chiefs -4. And I think that's finally a good spread. I don't think it's one I would touch at the moment, but I think it's pretty accurate as far as how close this game is going to be. So, Jason, how do you feel about this one?
I feel good about it. I mean, my concern would be, you said they need to make sure they stop the run. I mean, do they really respect the Gus bus that much? Like, he's ate us
up before.
He has, but I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I know you already mentioned McConkey's banged up. So for me, it's just like beat the hell out of Herbert, man. Whatever you have to do, just get to him and rough him up. That to me, that's my number 1 key to the game. Obviously, you had a few sacks last week, but you got to figure out a way to get to him.
That sounds like a Raiders game plan against Mahomes. Rough him up.
Well, I mean,
we've heard that before. Yeah.
I mean, if he's not throwing picks, then he's not going to start now unless you get to him and pressure him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to, and I don't know that they're going to be able to make that work, though, because, I mean, as we talked about earlier, this team's not getting to the quarterback. They are getting some pressures, but they're not finishing, throughout the year. We've seen that. And, sacking Aiden O'Connell a couple times last week is not what I'm talking about. There's going to need to be more to it than that here
Yeah.
against Herbert. So it is something to be concerned about, in my opinion, unless the minute Hugh comes out and just right out the
Finally
gate
looks good.
looks
you
good.
know.
Maybe they use Josh Uche as a pass rusher.
I think they'll be
I don't know.
better. They'll be better with pass rush. I mean, I think
Have to.
Omenihu needed a little bit of time to get his dick wet, and I think he's going to be ready to go.
Yeah, I hope that's the case anyway. So,
Yeah.
but no, I think we're lucky that J.K. Dobbins is out.
Oh
this
yeah.
game,
Oh
'cause
gosh.
he's had a good season, and I think just the combination of Dobbins and Gus is pretty deadly. But I think Gus by himself is very containable when you know his running style. So I feel good about our linebackers doing their job on that stuff. It's more.
I thought I felt good last week, and look what happened. So, it wasn't pretty. 113 yards rushing
Yeah,
combined.
it
So,
was
like, it's
a bit of a rarity.
it's not what we want. I mean, the week
the
before
season.
was that same way, and the week before that, like, we're not stopping the run like we normally would.
Yeah, I mean they've gotten a little worse as the season's gone on for sure. So
Against inferior backs, if anything.
we'll see. Maybe these guys are just getting tired. I don't know. Maybe this is why they need that bye week so badly in the playoffs. Is this getting that extra week was going to be huge for this team, and I'm just hoping they can figure out a way to keep the Bills knocked down. So, all right, man. Well, with that said, so let's go ahead and do our game picks, final score predictions.
Minus 3.5
Yep.
for the Chiefs, and then over under is 43.
All right.
Give me that minus 3.5 all day long, man. I think I'm going to buy low on the Chiefs here. Offense has just been sputtering for a long enough time now. I think this is the breakout game. And, I'm going to buy low here and take the 3.5. And, give me the Chiefs to cover because you got to understand, we haven't covered in 6 consecutive games, and Andy Reid has never gone 7 games in a row in his career of not covering. So I think this is where they break that streak.
I think the only way that they were maybe cover this at the Chiefs side is if they can get Herbert to force a turnover, which is he's only had 1 pick the whole season. And so to me, that's going to come down to just creating a turnover in some kind of way against Herbert. Otherwise, no, I got the Chiefs winning by 3. So by a field goal. And I just think it's going to be really, really close down to the wire kind of a game again. And but if they can force Herbert to either fumble or throw an interception in this game that is obviously a turnover in the Chiefs' favor, then I can give you the chance that the Chiefs can cover that minus 3.5. So, yeah, otherwise I'm kind of thinking along the lines of a Chiefs 21, Chargers 18 type of a game.
Yeah, I've got 24-17. I would throw this into my easy money pick, but we all know how that usually turns out when I do that for the Chiefs. So I leave the Chiefs alone on the easy money as much as possible.
You know what, Jason? I'm gonna buy your minus 3.5.
You're gonna
man.
buy?
I think we cover.
Yeah,
I think
we're
we
gonna
cover. Okay, and the whole reason why, right? They lost J.K. Dobbins. Okay, like I said, and he was a big piece of the offense. This is a run team first offense here, and that's why Herbert is part of playing so well. He doesn't have to be the primary focus. But now you got a guy it was an injury during the middle of the season. It's come back. He has not looked like Gus Edwards all season long, anyways. You picked off Kirk Cousins 4 times last week, and you won by 4, 17-13, right? You won that low of a score. It should have been a 30-13 game. Instead, it was a 17-13 game. Herbert might be playing well, but that offense isn't moving up and down the field. And the Chiefs here, unlike Atlanta, they can move the offense up and down the field and buy time here. I like this here. I like this game here. There's something about it that I just feel like we're going to have ourselves a pretty decent game, and we're going to cover this thing, minus 3.5. You know what? I'm going 27-17 Chiefs.
Yeah, you're playing at home. You got to open up the offense. I mean, you've been playing bad against bad teams. This is not a bad team. So you're at home. You got to show up.
Well, the Chargers haven't looked fantabulous either. So
if the Chiefs can connect on the deep ball to Worthy, finally, then this could be an explosive game. But they're off by just a foot every time. It seems like. If they can get that figured out, then the offense is going to be just fine.
Hell, I'll take the 30-23 they did against the Ravens.
You think maybe Worthy needs to spend a little bit less time playing baccarat and more time, like working on the plays?
No, I actually think Mahomes should play baccarat with Worthy, and that would help their connection.
That helps their chemistry.
Yeah, that'll
right?
help them get together on some of those deep passes.
That's true. I like
So
that.
if they play together with baccarat, which maybe Mahomes plays baccarat in his spare time, but I know at least we know Worthy.
You're
does.
not getting that guy into a casino. I mean, it would have to be like a private room. Or
Oh
something.
yeah. Well, they'd have to bring the baccarat to him to his house. Bring the dealer. He could call up Argosy and say, "All right, give me a private dealer. House rules. He can even add his own rules. No commission for the banker."
They've got a private room up there at Bally's. They just don't use it. There's tables back there, but they use it to train the dealers. They could close that off, and you could make it a private room.
Let's just say if I was a pro athlete and wanted a private room for baccarat, I'm not going to Bally's.
You're going to Vegas. You're going to Bellagio, basically.
Sure, of course. Yeah, I'd fly out there for the
going
day.
almost anywhere else.
You could literally fly to Vegas for the night and then just get back. It'd be
Well,
fine.
Worthy at least.
Use T-Swift's jet.
Worthy at least likes himself some Bally's. That's all I know.
Yeah. Have to run into him again someday up there, All right, man. Well, where did we leave off here?
Chiefs predictions.
All right, we got those in. Those are all good. We're all picking winners.
We're all picking winners.
And undefeated, by the way, in the AFC West so far this year.
Yep.
I don't care if they've been close games.
I think this win here will put us, we win it,
And
we clinch it,
yeah.
right? So we'll clinch the AFC West with a win.
I think you're right. I think Broncos they're 8-4. Depends on what the Broncos do, actually.
I thought we had it clinched.
Because we could still be 12-5. And the Broncos, if they were to win on Sunday, they could still have a chance technically for.
Yeah, Kansas City
13-4.
clinches AFC West division with win.
How's that possible? Because
I don't know, man. Everybody has.
Because Denver's already got 5 losses. My bad.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I for some reason thought they only had 4.
So yeah, we clinch with a
All
win.
right. Hey, we can go get our AFC West merchandise
Early.
again.
And we can wear that for the rest of the season.
And it's true. The ones we always neglect to buy these days because we're so used to it, I guess.
Right.
Spoiled. So, all right. Also 6-0 at home, by the way, for the season. So
Yeah.
hopefully get that up to 7-0 before the playoffs begin. All right, man. Well, shoot. What did we have to jump over to at this point?
Because it's easy money bet time.
It is that time. But you know what?
Easy money bet of the week.
Tanner, we got good news for the people out there listening today. You're going to tell us how we did last week, and we're going to be proud.
You are going to be proud, actually, guys.
Are we undefeated?
No.
For 1 week?
Well,
No. But easy money bets here. We had a pretty good week last week, guys. JG with his second win in a row, baby. Washington -6. You know what they call that? They call that a winning streak. Let's get it going.
Pretty good.
He's now 4-9-1 here on the year. Mike, you got a sweep here. You got Raiders +13, Eagles +3. That's a good number 2 there. That's you're now 12-6 on the year. I went 2-2 with Navy money line and Bills -6.5 with those easy bets there, and then Army's field goal kicker shanked it and did not get my 7. And Houston, how do you only win by 3? That's ridiculous. That's such a low line. But anyways, we'll take it. That's typical Houston. 22-18 for myself. That puts the Buffoons here at a 38-33-1 record, and we're at a 53.52% winning percentage.
yeah, we went 7-2 for the weekend, I think. Is that right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-2.
Oh, 5-2. Okay, yeah, that's
So,
not bad.
Hey, that's a great betting weekend.
That's pretty good. I've only got 1 this week, so I've been trying to do either 2 or 1, but this week only 1. The lines are difficult this week.
They are. I couldn't. I was having issues for a minute.
Looking through, whenever I come across a bunch of difficult lines for the week, I'm just like, it's a good week to kind of just not go all in, sit back a bit, and maybe they'll move, maybe watch the weather. I told you last week, Tanner, whenever we were sitting there and we saw there was going to be a blizzard in Buffalo for that game against the 49ers, I'm like, oh, you got to hammer the Bills -6.
Easy.
I mean, you 100%. And that was after the show, of course, but I probably would have done a third if I had known there was going to be a blizzard.
I did have the Bills before we even did the show, so just calm down, Starsky. I know you're out there.
Nobody wants a piece of that 12.5 Eagles versus Carolina?
No.
Carolina's part of that.
Carolina's been playing well, man.
I'd rather just not mess with it, honestly. I got one that I believe in.
Hey, if all else fails, just throw $5 down, man. You can't go wrong with $5.
Let's see. I want to see Starsky do a buffoon parlay for the weekend. So how many picks do you have this week?
I got my normal 4.
5?
4.
You got one and I got one. All right, so maybe just pick one of Tanner's to do a parlay with.
That's fine. Good luck. JG, what do we got?
All right, I'm looking at this 49ers versus Bears game. San Francisco looking for a bounce-back opportunity after getting shellacked by Buffalo. And San Francisco's at home here. I know they just lost CMC for the season, but I'm going to take the 49ers -4 to get back on track.
Yeah, very good, very good. All right.
I'm double-checking, make sure that's the best line. Oh, how about a -3.5?
You better find me the best line after what you pulled on me last week.
First off, no. Lines for the Buffoons Easy Money bets are only valid time of show.
He just made that rule
Time
up.
of show.
Literally,
We've
he
done
just made that
for
up.
3 years. This guy thinks he can change it on a non-show day.
Nah,
No,
he
we've done this
always
3 years,
found
man.
me the best
Tanner,
line.
change it right before game time.
I'm going
I
to
told
change it
him
to
earlier-
-5.
I told him earlier, even though today's his birthday, that if the Washington football team would have not covered, we were going to court.
That was going to be a loss, man.
That you guys might think I'm
It would have been a
joking.
loss.
I was taking him to small claims court no matter what.
I couldn't wait. So,
All right, very nice.
Mike?
Mine is for tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to this game. Finally, an exciting Thursday night game for us, of course. Packers at Detroit Lions, and the spread right now is 3. If you could find 2.5 somewhere, take the 2.5. I got Detroit to cover the spread on this one, and I do like the Packers, man. There's
That's
still
a trap game, dude.
Still a
Who
good
has
team.
3?
Everybody does have 3, Tanner.
I'm at 3.5 across the board.
Everybody's go ESPN bet or DraftKings.
I found DK. Okay, DK.
It's a
DraftKings
trap
has
game,
3.
dude.
Everybody else at
Look,
3.5.
I genuinely feel like the Detroit Lions might be the best team in the NFL this year, and
Hey, they've won me multiple weeks already. Easy money bets. So.
and I'll gladly take them with the 3 points. If you could find somewhere better, do that. But to me, that's a great one. And they're healthy, man. It's a good team. It's healthy. They're not missing a bunch of guys like a lot of other teams are.
Detroit's defense is missing a lot of guys.
Well, there's a few. Well, what do you got?
They're like 6 starters.
DJ Reader. Oh well, yeah. I mean,
between IR and injured right now, like it's
Mingo.
bad,
They
man.
got Reader out, of course. One of the defensive ends is
They
out.
signed Jamal Adams for God's sakes.
But it hasn't mattered. I mean, at this point, points allowed for the Detroit Lions defense is 203 on the season, which is by far the best in the NFC North. So it's not mattered. We thought Aiden Hutchinson getting injured early this season was going to cause issues, and it hasn't mattered. So
Smith coming in was nice. So.
I think that they're fine regardless. And being at home, still, I like them against the Packers, but respect to the Packers for another great season and just the improvements they've made over the last couple of years.
Tanner, I think you can still find 3.5 in
I
a
find
couple of
3.5.
books. You found 3.5.
Yeah, but
I'd be tempted to go Packers if I can get that hook.
if I get the 3.5, 4 point, I'm going Packers. But at -3, I'll take Detroit all day. That was the line I have set on them, so I'm good with that. For that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it here. Like I said earlier, I do have a couple title games for college football I do like personally, and it is fights for the playoffs, right? Fight for the tournament here, and exactly what we needed here. So we're going to start here on, what day was it? Saturday. Arizona State -2 going against Iowa State here. Look, Iowa State's played some good teams, but they haven't played well at all for the last 3-4 weeks here. I'm not impressed. Arizona State out here dominating Arizona last week. They've played some good games, and they're winning. They're a 2-loss team, man. There's no reason for this here. Arizona State -2. Once again, going back to my one of my popular picks that I like, of course, SMU -2 going against Clemson. I'm not impressed by Clemson. I'm not impressed by a lot of that. Don't put my fire alarm to go off again, you dirty.
You got to end the show how you started it.
God. Not trying to go off again.
Why's that fire alarm going off?
Anyways,
It's going to go off.
Just finish your picks, Tanner. You can time it. You're
SM
going to time it perfectly.
SMU -2. It's 8:20. They're in bed. Or Tinsley's going to bed. SMU -2. Then we're going to go ahead and look at here the NFL slate here. Hey, Miami is at home against the Jets. They're finally back in warm weather. Give me Miami -6 in that one. And then finally Monday Night Football here. Cincy, Dallas. Give me the over 49.5. Joe Burrow has to put up 80 points to get a dub with that horrible defense. And Dallas has been putting up points too. And Cincinnati's defense sucks really bad. So, give me the over 49.5. I know it's high, but I like that 49.5. So
I like it.
That's what we got going in. So we got Jason with the 49ers minus 3.5. Mike with the Detroit minus 3. Myself with Arizona State minus 2. SMU 2. Miami minus 6. And Cincy Dallas over 49.5.
All right. Sounds good to me. I would say, if Starsky wants to do another parlay, just take one of Tanner's. Let's do a 3-legger.
What the heck?
And
excuse you.
Yeah, you're excused.
He forgot he was live again, but that's okay. It happens.
So good, man.
Tanner's the guy. I remember one time on Facebook you said that you got in the shower and forgot to take your socks off.
I did. I remember that time.
So, things happen. You tend to forget those every once in a while.
That's how life happens, man. So I think that was probably after a holiday week at Target. So,
yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna try to set off your fire alarm again.
Stop
and
doing it.
Is he done with his picks?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're good. Just set the house on fire right now, and then we'll time. We're going to time the end of the show with the fire alarm.
That's a good idea.
No,
that's a good idea.
Stop it, you guys.
All right. Well,
come on.
And if you're in the audience,
Mom!
Please do not call 911.
Right. Your mom's gonna get pissed, Tanner.
Yeah, mom's gonna get mad.
She's like, "You setting off the fire alarm again?"
All right. Oh wait. Hold on. Yeah, Starsky's comment. Come on, get over here. He'll do my 2 NFL bets with the other guys. So,
all right.
I guess, man. I like my college bets better than my NFL bets.
Well,
so
we shall see.
But I like that easy money though. I guess I don't know. It's easy money, right? So might as well take all of it, man. Do one parlay with all of them, Starsky, since I can't talk you out of that, and then do the NFL slate. So
I really liked your over on that Bengals game, dude.
I'm telling you,
juicy pick right there.
They got to score 8 touchdowns to win.
Should I throw down? Would you throw down $1,000 on that, Mike, or should I just stick with 500 if I really
put $1,000 into
it?
crypto if you're going to put $1,000 anywhere?
Oh, okay. No. I heard it right here from my dad.
That's
so
what I would
do
recommend
what he
right now. So. All right. Well, you guys have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Rot Shot Jayhawk, baby.
Welcome to December. 3 weeks from Christmas, so better get ready.
Welcome to the alt season where we don't drink on this show.
Yeah, it's a sober show for
six
while.
months at least. 5 months.
5 months. But it's gonna be a long journey, but we're gonna come out of this with a good chunk of change, maybe a couple bucks.
I have a feeling there's gonna be more buffoonery during sober season on this show than when there's drunk, because we're going to be so amped up because we can't drink anything.
Yeah, that's in the future. That'll be a little ways out, but I just think maybe sometime around February, it's going to be wild in here.
Yeah,
it's going to be real interesting to see what's going on.
We're all going to be stressed out too.
That's probably true. So, Tanner, about you?
It's college basketball season, man.
Okay.
NFL's playoffs, college football playoffs.
All right.
That's all I know, man. That's all I know.
All right. Well,
hey, who's going to win the NBA Cup, Jason?
Who cares? Just give me the Pistons, because I know they're the worst team in the league. So give me the Pistons.
Yeah, they had a couple dubs lately, man.
All right, let's get you to eat this cake, Tanner.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Well, I will see y'all on the next one.
Outro. See you guys.